Alright guys, so here it is. Traitor Legion's Codex supplement is out. Simon has been reading this non-stop, haven't you?
Pretty much.
So we're just going to go through the formations in the book and each individual thing in it. This will be a two-part video, and in the second part, what are we going to go over, Simon?
We'll go through the formations in this first video and give our own opinions on each formation, how we think it could be used, the benefits and any drawbacks we can see in it. And then in the second part, we'll go through each Legion's Decurion and do the same thing. Go through, this is what we think will work, what we like, what we don't like. Funny enough, there isn't a whole lot I don't like, but
there's a lot of nice new stuff in there.
Yeah, we'll go through. So the second video, I'll have the Legions, the war gear, all those elements. The first time, we'll go through the formations.
Alright, so let's start out in the first bit. You know the Codex better than me, so...
Alright. Well, the first thing that's in here, is the Chaos Vindicator and the Chaos Predator. They've both just been given their squadron rules. So, that's pretty much exactly the same as the Space Marine.
Which is, yeah.
And anything before, like the 3 Vindicators will get their line bombardment, which is an apocalyptic blast, ignores cover. But you do have to have all 3 alive, which is sort of why I will never take that.
Yeah, well, it's the same as the Space Marine one, and it's, you've been given those 3 rules on top.
The Predator is exactly the same. You get Monster Hunter Tank Hunters for 3 of them. So yeah, that's basically what you'd see in the Space Marine book. Moving on to the actual chaos of it, we've got Khan the Betrayer's new datasheet.
I love that model.
The new model is fantastic.
Yeah.
I am definitely going to get one. But all in all, the rules are more or less the same. They've changed a bit of wording in his Unstoppable, so they've just said his attacks always hit on a 2+ rather than anything else, so there's no confusion with that anymore. But aside from that, he's pretty much the same. Not that that's a bad thing.
And obviously he'll change due to, like, while he's in his formations and stuff, he'll gain them rules as well, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm just glad they kept that Betrayer rule in there, because I think that's what makes Khan, being able to kill his own men.
Yeah, killing his own men, yeah, with gore. Child, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always amusing. So that's exactly the same. Still allows Berserkers to be troops instead of elites, which, again, I'm glad they've kept that in, because they do seem to have been taking that out of a lot of codexes as of late.
Nothing really to say there, if he hasn't changed much.
Anybody who's read Chaos knows Khan.
Yeah.
Then we move on to Ahriman.
Stunning model, but...
Again, rules are exactly the same, with a few minor changes. I say minor, one of them's actually huge. The tables he can generate powers from, he's finally got access to everything.
Telepathy, yeah, telekinesis. He's
finally been given
divination
telekinesis.
is massive.
Telekinesis, divination. He's finally got access to the 2 of them. They're 2 of the biggest ones.
You've been after divination for so long.
I can finally get it on certain sorcerers. He's also been given the option to take a disc. It is expensive for 30 points.
260 points that puts him to.
But if you're already running a 230 point model, what's an extra 30 points to give him?
It gives him mobility too, so...
even at level 4, he's got to take 1 Zench power, because Mark of Zench, but he's still got 3 powers on any of these tables.
Yeah.
And reading through the Ectomancy, Geomortis, Heretic, and Sinistrum, they are very good tables.
Yeah, there's a lot of new powers there that will change a lot of the games that we play.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I was just going to say, I don't know if you'll see him in more competitive games though, wouldn't you? Like, for the points that he is, I'm sure you can get a level 3 version for a bit cheaper.
Yeah, we'll move on to the Exalted Sorcerers in a minute, which I do sort of prefer over him, but I do love his model.
Yeah,
he will be included just for that alone. He's still got Master of Rubricae, so he still makes Rubric Marines troops instead of elites. He's still got Master of Deception, which I do like, which is the D3 Infiltrators. Yeah. It's nice having that automatically with potentially an army that has AP3 Bolters and AP3 Flamers.
Yeah.
Blackstaff Varaman's exactly the same. Still allows multiple Witchfire powers up to 3 attempts.
That's pretty cool. I see a lot of use in that. If you did use him,
he's very offensive based. So that's Ahriman. I don't mind him. He is expensive, but in a Thousand Suns army, everything's expensive. So
Yeah.
then we move on to the Exalted Sorcerers of Zench. I really like this. Again, 160 base. It is expensive, but the models are fantastic, and I like the rules that go with them.
Yeah.
The rules are very good.
GW really nailed the whole model release on the Thousand Suns, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
It almost tempted me to turn to the Dark Powers, but no, the Ultramarines are still
Couldn't quite
No.
sway you.
need prettier models for that.
Again, they get access to pretty much every single table. They do have to roll 1 power on Zench. You can make these guys level 3, so they're still going to get 2 powers from the table of your choice. So they're very flexible, if not unreliable, because you're still rolling for your powers.
Yeah, well,
They come with AP3 bolt pistol, Force Stave, Aura of Dark Glory, so the stock, Thousand Suns equipment. So the Aura of Dark Glory 5 up, Mark of Zench 4 up. Different formations can make it better, which we'll move on to later. This is the bit that I really like.
yeah, the bombardments that you get.
Because fluff-wise, each one of these guys is supposed to be the commander of, like it says, a Lord of the Silver Tower. Anybody who's read Wrath of Magnus will know just how potent those Silver Towers can be.
And this basically acts as like a silver tower.
It's basically
It's beam, yeah.
It's an orbital bombardment, except you do need line of sight.
Usually I don't like one-use only weapons, but if you're going to take them anyway, it's an awesome little addition.
And Strength 9, AP2, Heavy 1 Blast, and Lance is very good.
Yeah.
And an unlimited range. That is very, very good. Again, you can make them level 3, which, you probably would be with these guys. They can take a 30-point disc. That is expensive, but at +1 attack and jet bike, I can live with it.
Well, the jet bike does give you a bit more speed. You can get in range of a lot of powers, which
Yeah.
I love that addition.
Yeah.
Before it used to just be bikes you could put psychers on
Well, the only thing
for
that
speed or in a vehicle.
the only thing that the Thousand Suns were lacking is none of their guys can re-roll their powers. They can't re-roll to generate. Which is...
Hold on, guys. We just had a bit of lighting issue. Alright, continuing on.
So, the Exalted Sorcerers I'm very happy with. They're definitely a good addition, because before this it was either run a level 2 wound Sorcerer or Ahriman. So, with the 3rd wound, these guys do become very good. Ballistic Skill 5 as well means firing Witchfire powers is a lot stronger because they're far easier to hit with.
Yeah. Although some now auto hit, don't they?
Yes.
So it's
Yes. Things like Psychic Shriek now auto hit.
yeah. So
But
the ones that do require you still to hit are
yeah,
pretty
their
damn
new
good.
tables with their beam powers and things like that are now very much more potent. Then we move on to Zangors.
I initially hated these guys.
Yeah, so did I. So did I. At
I
first
wasn't very
glance.
impressed.
They just looked like very expensive cultists to me.
Changed my tune on that one though.
Yeah. Well, the weapon skill 4. I mean, they are a combat unit per se, so at least they'll be hitting things on level ground for the most part. But it's the toughness 4 that I liked.
Yeah.
I was happy to pay the extra points to have toughness 4 cultists.
I don't know, I'm not too sure about the twist spray upgrade. I think this unit
it's a
has a
waste
lot
of
of
points.
utility and how cheap it is,
Well, I mean, you're only going to get 1 extra attack on one guy. Whereas if you add another Zangor for 7 instead of 10, you get the extra attack and an extra wound in the unit as well.
Yeah.
That's why I definitely wouldn't be taking the twist sprays. I'd just be taking extra Zangors if I went for it. Mark of Zench does give them a 6-up invuln as well, so you're always going to get a save.
The one thing these guys do have over cultists, like they're both troops choices, but this one, at least you'll always have a 6+ save.
Yeah.
Regardless, even
Exactly.
if you get a lot of ignores cover weapons, 6+ is nothing impressive, but you're always going to have a save, really.
This little rule, the Relic Hunters, models with this special rule can reroll all failed to hit rolls in close combat against enemy models equipped with a relic, or their faction's equivalent, so like a Chaos Artifact. I like this. It's one of those little additional rules if you just so happen to come up against a commander, like, smash fuck or anything like that,
That dude.
these guys can reroll to hit against him, which is good. And a lot of people are starting to use relics these days.
Well, I'm just, I'm playing a lot with the Primax Wrath, even like non-close combat ones. I just throw down a few little relics on characters every now and then. So these guys could potentially cause a lot of trouble for a character who isn't kitted out for close combat.
I can definitely see a lot of use for their Zangors. I like them.
On their
I
own,
think they're good.
I wasn't that impressed. That's why I initially looked at them, because for 70 points, but in the formations, which we'll come across,
Yeah,
I changed my tune.
That's where they really shine.
So yeah, we'll come back to that one.
Next, we move on to the Rubric Marines.
So pretty.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, the model releases with 1,000 Suns is awesome. They've pretty much stayed the same points stat-wise. Nothing's really changed a whole lot with them. The only thing they have said is the Aspirant Sorcerer generates all of their powers from that Zench discipline.
So that clarifies that.
Yep, that clarifies that whether they can get access to other tables or not, which, it was good for them to add. Everyone comes with an Inferno Bolt Gun, which is a standard bolter but AP3. Aura of Dark Glory, which is 5+. The Mark of Zench makes it a 4+. So you've got 3+, 4+ Marines.
The Force Stave, did they always have a Force Stave, or did they just have a Force Weapon?
They had a Force Weapon where you could choose Axe, Staff,
and now it's
sword.
just stated it's a Stave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good and bad.
I like the Stave anyway, so it just...
Oh, I mean, it does limit you in some ways in that, if you wanted to take the Power Axe for AP2.
For AP2.
But, because they were actually one of the best people to have it on, because they've got a 4-up invuln.
They're pretty resilient guys in their own right, yeah, so...
But I'm still not going to complain at Strength 6.
Yeah.
The things that the new additions to the rules, they've had Warp Flamers added to them, which is an AP3 flamer with Warp Flame.
Strength 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Strength 4 AP3. They've had the Soul Reaper cannon added, which I do like.
I do like that,
It's expensive.
The units that can take them, unfortunately, are very expensive. And it's an expensive weapon in its own right, too. I do like it. The weapon on its own, though, I do like it. It's a very good weapon.
Look, I can't actually remember the stats off the top of my head.
Yep.
Where are we?
4 shots, heavy.
Yeah, 4 shots, heavy 4, rending, strength 5, AP3. The only problem I've got with all of their heavy weapons, they're all 24-inch range.
Yeah, well.
Guys, I was really hoping the Soul Reaper cannon would be 36 and the Hellfire Missile Racks would be 48. Just so you can actually target an enemy from more distance.
Definitely a mid-range army. And you do have a few ways to get them, I mean, you'd see them in a CAD. If you were running them in a CAD, you'd see them in Rhinos just driving up. Or, hoping Araman infiltrates them close enough.
Oh, I mean, it's another example of 5-man units with a Soul Reaper cannon and a Rhino pillbox is actually pretty good.
Yeah. And, you can move the Rhino and they're still firing at full ballistics.
Exactly.
Unless you drive fast enough that
you can still move 6 inches. There's war gear that you'll see in the next video that will allow you to move them further. And these guys aren't bad. They're still a bit expensive for me. But with a 4-up invuln, and a level 1 sorcerer leading it, I can kind of see why.
And the other thing is Elite's choice, obviously, but then you can make them a troop's choice via the Lord.
Via the Lord or their detachment.
They still kept that? Okay. Yeah, you quickly go double check.
This guy can't. This guy doesn't.
Okay.
Araman still does, the Exalted doesn't. If you take...
So you'd need a normal sorcerer.
Yeah, if you take a normal sorcerer with the Mark of Zench, he will make these guys
Okay,
troops.
that's fine. As long as, your other option would be...
The other option is Zangors, which is still not bad.
Yeah.
But it will limit you if you want to take Scarab Occult,
Which
is
leads
the next
us
unit.
What we're going on to now.
Yep.
Scarab Occult. Again.
Very expensive.
So pretty. But yes, this unit kitted out is...
These are probably my favourite model they've brought out.
Yeah, I like them.
They've nailed the 1,000 Suns iconography on them very well.
Yeah.
So again, these guys have got Infernal Combi Bolters, which is, a normal bolter normal Inferno bolter twin linked. So all the better.
They all basically everything on these guys
Is
are
AP3.
built for AP3.
Yep. Then the Occult Sorcerer, same thing, but all the unit leaders now are just equipped standard with a 4-stave.
Yeah.
So he goes to Strength 6, which isn't bad. These guys are all AP3 with a Power Sword. The difference between the Scarab Occult Sorcerer and the Rubric Sorcerer,
He gets Biomancy.
he gets everything.
Oh, right, yeah.
He
Didn't see that.
gets access to everything, and at
Just
level
it
2.
starts there and goes on.
Yeah, it
okay.
confused me the first time I looked at it. Because he's level 2, as it says here, he's got to take 1 Zench power, but then he can take another power on any table that he wants, basically.
We were all really hoping that rule was...
Yeah, I was
gone.
I was hoping they'd amend that rule, but...
To be fair, I know, like they like their fluff, and he is a Zench model, so I could see why they've kept it, but these guys...
I was hoping they'd amended in the way they've done here, and that
Yeah,
Rubric Marines can only access Zench.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd take the rule out of the Mark of Zench and just change things like that.
Yeah.
But
hey, they've been given a whole bunch of these as well, so...
I do feel a bit stupid complaining with some of the rules that I have been given.
Yeah, some nice stuff. So what, the war gear options, what do we got?
So we go through, we've got a heavy Warp Flamer, which is a heavy flamer at AP3 with Warp Flame. Soul Reaper Cannon on these guys as well. It is an extra 5 points compared to the Marines, but, you know, you've now got a 2-up, 4-up.
Yeah.
As opposed to a 3-up. The next thing is the Hellfire Missile Rack, which, although it's only 24-inch range, is a 2-shot Strength 8 AP3 missile. Which isn't bad. I mean, you know, a long tag team with the Soul Reaper Cannon, you'll be popping light vehicles pretty easily. Even some heavy vehicles, because that's rending.
Yeah.
So you've got the opportunities to take vehicles out with these, and then the rest of these guys can just gun down whatever comes out.
Yeah.
With an AP3 weapon.
The unit on its own, I still think they suffer from the same Marine-type Terminator problems. You're paying a lot of points for a unit that doesn't have much initial mobility, you know, like obviously there is little tricks and things in the book I know you can do to make these guys jump infantry or
there's
all sorts of
war gear that will help them.
Yeah, initially just on first glances though, you know, there's not enough there that I would find like not enough for me to want to field them outside of fun games.
Yeah, I agree.
But still, could be pretty fun using them.
And we've got the Lord of Skulls. We move on to the Lord of War. Lord of Skulls, as far as I know, it's exactly the same. Still stupidly overpriced. Just for fluff reasons. It's not a bad
888.
It's not a bad unit.
Nah.
If it was 200 points cheaper, it'd be an excellent unit.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't comment on this because I've seen it used a few times, say in like mini wargaming games and things like that. But I don't know. I haven't really had much to do with them in our gaming group. Or
I like what it can do, but I just don't like the points cost you've got to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just if you like the model, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't take one. But
it's not something I'd run. I'd only run one if I did.
Yeah.
But
well, APOC maybe, but
yeah, I definitely wouldn't run more than one, and it's not what I like for that kind of points.
Yeah, that's the thing. What can you get for that kind of points in a normal game? You know?
But I mean, you start looking at Forge World Imperial Armor, you can get crazy things for less than that.
Yeah,
like a Brass Scorpion's less than that,
and you know that's a pretty scary model in its own right. So yeah, nothing really bad to say against that, but yeah, just not really something I'd do. I'd actually probably prefer to have 2 knights for the price of that.
Yeah.
2 Renegade knights.
I definitely would. But I mean, people do.
But you know, we could be completely wrong, couldn't we?
Oh look, people use them, so they're not what I call competitive because they're definitely not points efficient.
No.
But you know, in your games against your local gaming group, there can be a lot of fun because they're just a beat stick. And every time you take a whole point off them, they just get stronger.
It's pretty cool. Alright, well, this guy.
Yeah. This is what's made this year's releases for me for Chaos. This Legion's book is number 2. He's number 1. Just for the fact he's a Primarch and they've finally released one.
But yeah, well, basically, the biggest news in 40k at the moment
Because
is
this is huge.
a Demon Primarch, the first one released. You know, like he's in the timeline now. He's
That's the
out
thing,
there.
I mean, the reading, like again, Wrath of Magnus. You read through the rules for him, the fluff, for him in that book, and he's just amazing. The foresight in that he has, and the rules reflect him very well
they
to
do,
me.
yeah. You know, there was a lot of talk between me and Simon on what we heard over the internet and the price he should be, but I think they've nailed around the right mark for what he's got. I think that's about fair.
Well, I initially thought he was too expensive, till I read through his rules.
Yeah, well,
Then I was more than happy for it. I mean, you know, the standard Primarch rules from 30k.
yeah.
Eternal Warrior, Fearless, Fleet, it will not die.
Yeah.
He's a level 5
Level
sorcerer.
5, never before sin.
I
There
mean,
you
he
go.
can cast 5 powers, and he knows 12.
Yeah, he knows
13,
all.
sorry, he knows 13.
Yeah.
Um,
That thing. I like, oh my
year,
god.
He has line of sight to everything on the battlefield for psychic powers. Like,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
Initially, when I thought I'd be facing him, I thought, there's only so much he can do, you know, I'll hide my units. I've got a lot of armies like my Eldar, my Tau, jump, shoot, jump. No, don't worry.
You're not hiding.
He's going to see them regardless.
And then to make it even better, harnessing on 2 pluses.
That's insane.
Tag it in with the Crown of Magnus, 4-up Invan, and he can't peril.
What I did find funny is he's got a 4-up armor, and it looks like Artificer style armor.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him that because there's so much of him that isn't armoured.
But, you know, this guy's a master of magic. He doesn't really care about armor. He's only just wearing it because it looks cool, probably.
Basically. Well, that's the thing, I mean, 4-up Invan, he's a Demon of Zenj, re-rolling 1s. You've got ways to increase that to 3-up, sometimes 2-up, if you've got the right
insane.
powers and rules running with him.
Let's talk about his weapon strength user. So he's
The
a strength
Blood of
8,
Madness.
AP 2, merely for Soul Blaze and Transmogrify. I could see some abuse.
I will
With
go over
Transmogrify.
Transmogrify right now.
Yeah, let's just do
because
that
it's
now.
so cool. Here we go here.
Let's see what we got.
Any to wound roll of 6 made by an attack with this special rule gains instant death. If the models are slain in this matter, then you may immediately place a Chaos Spawn model under your control as close as possible, but more than 1 inch away from an enemy.
Yeah.
That's
And then
awesome.
there are other pieces of war gear which we'll come across, which could, you know, you could be spawning all over the place.
The other power I'll go over now will be Gaze of Magnus because only
Is
he
he
gets
the
access.
yeah, he's the only one. Well, obviously Warp Charge fires. He's the only one that can
Well,
cast
you can
it.
see all the others have got numbers next to them. This one doesn't.
Yeah.
That's why. Like Strength D, Beam. So if you can get him in line with 4 or 5 different units,
Yeah.
he'll be D strength hitting everything in that line.
So, key tactic to play against him, guys, line everything up in a line.
Oh, I mean, key tactic against him is he is going to kill something. Take out the rest of the army because he's 650 points.
I'd just treat him like a Death Star, basically.
Yeah.
You're going to have to spread out. You're going to have to...
The difference with him, he's a flying Death Star
yeah.
that you can't tie up. But that is... Oh, sorry.
Lord of Flux.
I was going to
Let's
say
just go for his Warlord trait.
Where are we? Here we go. Enemy units within 12 inches of your Warlord treat all terrain, even open ground, as difficult terrain. In addition, all models in any enemy unit that run Turbo Boost, move flat out, or charge within 12 of him must take a dangerous test. That's even just charging. You got to take a dangerous terrain test. There's so much potential there for that to do damage.
Over the course of the game, like initially...
Like it's not game breaking.
Yeah, it's not game breaking, but over the course of the game, it could take some key units out, actually.
But I
Or
like
even
that.
just models out of the key units.
I like it because it's not game breaking, but it will have an effect on the
Yeah.
game. And especially some of the stronger armies people are running at the moment.
To be fair, I'm not sure what that combos up with some of the newer psychic powers. I haven't had a chance to see that, but maybe there'll be some combinations there that
Yes,
could just make this
there can be.
stupid.
There can be, yes.
So, yeah, well, he's really good.
Yeah.
Very expensive, but, you know,
Still cheaper than
awesome.
spells.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that. What you get for that as opposed to that. Again, that brings us back to our point. Yeah, good, but
Better.
cheaper, and oh my god, he's awesome. And yeah, his stats, everything. There's not much else really to say.
I'm glad they only gave him access to Zench and Change. I really thought they were going to give him access to everything.
Yeah.
And if they had, it would have just been he would have just been banned from everything, and you just don't use him.
Yeah. I'm already looking at this and going, straight off the bat, I saw these and went, how am I going to counter something like that? Then, I saw the release of the Imperial Agents. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I'm assuming like Sisters of Silence.
They will be the counter.
There's going to be counters coming, and
you put a
who knows?
you put a Colexus near him. Hope he doesn't kill it, and he can't actually attack it without charging it.
Yeah.
Because his only ranged attacks are psychic powers, and he won't be able to use them.
So yeah,
That'll nullify him straight away. The rest of the army should really kill it pretty quickly.
Yeah. I see him, like the Helldrake for me originally was a game changer. I used to run 50-man tack squads. Like, not 50-man. They were just corpses before they were placed on the battlefield.
We did have a few games where 50 tactical marines would die in a game.
Yeah. Pretty soon I switched that. Now you see me running like 10, maybe 15 guys. He's going to be that sort of unit where you're going to have to, if he is in your local gaming group, or if he is in, like he will be, I'm assuming I'm going to have to face him at some point.
First of all, hate the gamer that runs him. I think that's fair.
I don't know. If I'm running my Gladius, if I'm running the Tau Monster Mash I'm working toward,
true.
I'm more than happy for you to run him.
That's true.
So that allows me to be that guy too.
Yeah, that's true. So that's the end of the the data sheets, because that brings in everything into one book, which is another reason this book is so amazing.
Yeah. So what's on next?
We start moving into formations.
The good stuff.
First off, we've got the Chaos Warband, which for pretty much every Decurion except Khorne, that is the core choice.
Yeah. So this is
or
basically
one of the core choices.
The closest thing I can see that is my Space Marine Demi Company.
I find it slightly better.
Let's see. Well, I don't remember the rules, so we'll go over it and see.
You get the Lord and you get a Sorcerer.
Oh, you do get to have a Sorcerer.
The first thing compared to a Demi Company.
Yep.
Is I can take a Sorcerer in it. You can't take a Librarian.
Well, I could just take an extra CAD though, so.
But it means you've also got to take 2 extra troops.
Yeah, that is true. Let's see what your restrictions are.
1 to 3 units of chosen Terminators possessed. That's probably your only tax. And that's not that bad. Because everything in that list is usable. For me, I'd be running the Terminators.
See, I'd be going the Chosen, but, we're obviously 2 different gamers with 2 different playstyles.
If you run Crimson Slaughter, you'll be running the Possessed.
Yes, naturally. You get a lot of bonuses for that.
2 to 6 units of Marines. The Demi Company requires 3.
3, yeah. Which, I like that, the 2 to 6. Like, the 2 especially being the key one there. If you want to run the Min, if you want to run... this formation might be usable at lower points.
This formation has basically allowed Chaos players to run Chaos Marines again.
Which you've been wanting for how long?
Yeah, exactly. Then we go 1 to 3 units of Raptors, Warp Talons, or Bikes.
Yep.
The fact that you can get Bikes in this...
Bikes. Love Bikes.
Is excellent.
Yeah.
Warp Talons, they're just not my thing.
Warp Talons have their place in there than that formation, which we'll go across later, but even then, yeah.
Then 1 to 3 units of Havocs or Hellbrutes.
I like Havoc.
This comes in good because of this rule.
Yeah. Objective secured, I love it. It's my favourite rule.
Everything in here is objective secured.
90% of my games have been won through just having objective secured, I think.
That allows you to take potentially 3 units of objective secured Bikes. If you take Nurgle, they're toughness 6.
Yeah.
You can make them toughness 6 objective secured Bikes. They're going to be hard to shift. Objective secured Hellbrutes.
Yeah.
That is very good. Although slow, they're a very good backline holder.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I kind of like the objective secured Rhino Havocs. And if I was to do the Hellbrutes, I'd probably do the deep striking formation.
No, because that's a different formation. It's a different formation, so they don't get OBSEC.
Yeah, I know. They don't get OBSEC, but you get a lot more bonuses for that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, just OBSEC in general, I love it.
But, I mean, first glance at this when I first saw it, I already knew exactly what to run in it.
Well, this straight off the bat, which was awesome for you. You run your Iron Warriors. You pretty much have those units.
Yep.
So, just from buying this book and looking at these, you've gone, oh, run those units, and then I gain these rules. Again, obsec on things I never had obsec on.
Yeah, well, it means I can get objectives secured on more units, and it also means that this warband it's not just a CAD. The CAD is my entire army, which means only the troop sections get objectives secured.
Exactly.
And it just makes things, to me, I've always tried to stay away from CADs because I like fluffier armies.
Yeah, but this is
the only reason.
This is basically...
Yeah, and this has given me objectives secured and allowed me to stick to fluff, which is amazing.
I know fluff is a major driving factor for what you like.
The favoured scions rule, it's not bad.
What's that one? Earns a roll in the Chaos Boon table for the champion. Roll twice. That could be pretty awesome, actually.
Roll twice and choose either one or both.
Both being the key word
The
there,
best thing with or both, or one, is if you roll twice, or even if you roll once, and you roll up spawn, you've got another option to get out of that.
Yeah.
So, you've got less likely for your really expensive beat stick of a lord to become a spawn.
Very, very small chance.
Far more chance of him becoming a demon prince.
Yeah. Which, could be actually pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
I like this warband.
This
Really
warband
happy
is
with
the
it.
core for most formations, or a core for most of the Decurions.
Which, again, very nice.
Sorry, detachments. I know people do get annoyed when we call them Decurions. Then we move on to the Maelstrom of Gore. This is one of the core choices for the Khorne one, as you would imagine.
Of course.
So, you've got one Lord, one Chaos Lord, or Khan, and then 4 to 8 units of Berserkers. The only restriction is the Lord gets a free Mark of Khorne. Yeah, anything free is good.
Yeah, it's free that you otherwise normally wouldn't have had.
I'm still trying to work out, because I haven't played this, I don't play a lot of Khorne, so I wouldn't really know. I've seen what this can do. With the whole formation is fleet, and adds 3 inches to charge ranges. So you're charging a minimum 4 inches, which is pretty good. Sorry, minimum 5 inches.
What else do they get? Because right now it's still underwhelming for me.
This isn't bad. It's only once per battle, which is the bad part.
Yeah, at the start.
But at the start of your movement phase, a Maelstrom of Gore can summon the Red Rain. When it does so, every unit in the formation that is locked in combat is allowed to pile in and fight as if it were a fight subphase. But enemy units can't fight back.
That's pretty cool.
It also doesn't stop you from fighting in the following assault phase. So you basically get a free round of combat.
Yeah. Trouble is, 4 units minimum.
They're Berserkers.
At the end of the day, they're just a 3-up armor save model with only a little bit more speed. I'd have liked more speed.
I've worked it out. It's cheaper to run this warband with Khan leading it and max out your Marines with close combat weapons. With the pistols, close combat weapons, it's cheap, and Mark of Khorne. It is cheaper to run that instead of this.
This army...
You're only losing those 2 rules.
This army, to me, this formation exemplifies what's the hardest part of 40k to use. Like, the assault phase is a very hard thing to get right. They don't have the speed to get the models in, and they don't have the durability. They're all, at the end of the day, they're a Space Marine, and how easy is it to kill a normal Space Marine these days?
But what I do like is this is so fluffy.
It is. It's very, very cool.
You'll find that through this whole book, is everything is finally fluffy.
Yeah.
Everything has finally been written to be what you'd imagine Chaos would be, or what that individual Legion would be.
What I would love to do is, say, take my Dark Angels and these guys, all foot slogging, running up, take my Deathwing, foot slug them, run up, and just have a speed down. That'd be cool.
Alright, then we move on. The Lost and the Damned. This is your cultist formation. This is the only way to get access to cultists.
Via formation.
Sorry,
other than a CAD.
Within the detachments in this book,
Yeah.
this is the only way to get cultists.
Okay.
Unless you take a CAD alongside it. So you got 1 Dark Apostle and 4 to 9 units of Chaos Cultist. The Dark Apostle's a bit of a tax, but when you actually look at the rules for it, he's not that bad. A Tide of Traitors. Each time a unit of Chaos Cultists from this Lost in the Damned is completely destroyed, roll a d6. On a 4+, you can immediately place a new identical unit into ongoing reserve. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kill points? That's terrible. Every other game, that's awesome.
Yeah. But 4+,
Yeah,
like
that's the
50-50
problem.
chance. It could be awesome.
But the thing
if
is
you
as
roll
well-
terribly, you're going to hate yourself for taking the formation.
But the thing is as well, to take
You do have four.
4 units and a Dark Apostle is 300 points.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's fair enough, yeah. But,
I mean-
you know, this could potentially double up, quadruple. If you roll really well, that's pretty damn cool.
Because this ties in with the Alpha Legion later, which will allow you to double and triple and...
There is one thing to be said. The fact that it says completely destroyed. I know that if I didn't want the formation coming back on,
Leave one alive.
then you're just going to see little units of like 2 or 3 cultists running around trying to charge something so that they get overwatched and then beaten down so that they can then maybe come back on.
What I still don't know, when it says completely destroyed, if a unit falls back off the table, it does, for victory points, count as completely destroyed.
Then, other than, we'll look into it more, but I would probably just give you that as the reroll because it does say completely.
That's one of those grey areas I'm not sure on, you know, having only had the book a week.
Prophet of the Gods is probably the reason why I would like this formation more.
The problem is, you've got to have that Dark Apostle,
Within.
it's Zealot, within 6 inches of him. Which means it doesn't do enough for me because there's no obsec on it. These guys are best at backline holding.
The reason why I like this is say you've got, I don't know, something fast, something that can deal a bit of damage in either close combat or shooting, and it's just gotten too close. You charge it with any number of fearless units, it's stuck there. The other flip side of this is it's not too hard to snipe things out of units these days. There's a lot of ways, like considering every character can snipe on a roll of a 6. There's a lot of ways using blast weapons that can take him out.
It's a cheap formation. There's a lot of risk to it to use it effectively.
Yeah, I like it. It could cause a good screening unit. Tar pit things.
For 300 points, it's not bad.
Yeah,
300 points minimum, that's pretty good.
yeah. I don't know. I like cultists. I like the models. Been a fan of them since they came out. Even if sometimes they're a bit useless. I don't know. They're pretty cool.
They've got their uses and
Yeah, exactly.
Then we move on. We've got the Hellforged War Pack, which is 1 Warpsmith and 3 to 5 of any of the following combination of units: Hellbrute, Mauler Fiend, Forge Fiend, and Defiler.
Yep.
So 3 to 5 of any combination of those 4 units.
You're liking the Defiler, right?
I'm not sure on this one. There's another one that I think does this a little bit better.
I'm keen to see mini wargaming. I want to see Daffy rocking these abilities.
But the special rules: Master of Mechanical Warpcraft. Whilst this Warpsmith is alive and on the battlefield, Hellforged Warpack models that have already used their Demon Forge can choose to use it for a second or subsequent time. So I mean, you can use your Demon Forge multiple times, which gives you reroll to wound. There's a minute risk of a 1 causing a whole point. But you've also, if you're running the right units, your Warpsmith may be there to repair them.
Yeah, as with most chaos things, with reward comes the risk.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Floppy again.
This is the cool rule in it, though. There's one model from the Warforged Warpack must be nominated as the Warpack Alpha. The Alpha gains the character, unit type, and a 4+ invuln. And if he's destroyed, the rest of the Warpack gains Rage. I like this because if you can get a Mauler Fiend with a 4+ invuln instead of a 5+, and character so it can challenge,
Yeah.
that can do some serious damage in combat if it makes it.
Yeah. I kind of like the Defiler, kind of like that with, say, 4+ invulnerable as well. You got 2 Forge Fiends for fire support. There's a lot of cool combinations you could use. So
The Defiler's very expensive. That's always been my
problem. I don't like Defilers in general. I just, with that 4+ on the Defiler, I like that. But yeah, the models of Defilers I'm not a fan of. That's me. I'm a filthy Ultramarine player.
Helldrake Terror Pack.
I do like this.
This has got some weird rules with it.
I like this in the Night Lords.
I need someone to comment and actually try and help me work out how the hell some of these rules actually work.
Alright, let's go through it.
2 to 4 Helldrakes. So you can take 2. I was really worried it was going to be 3.
Yeah, no, I'm happy it was 2.
2 is good. You can fit 2 into an army.
Yeah.
3 is just too much points.
I would only really ever run 2.
Enemy units that are within 12 inches of 2 models from a Helldrake Terror Pack reduce their leadership by 1. Enemy units that are within 12 of 3 reduce it by 2, or by 3 if they're within 4. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's this next one that I don't get. Because when performing a Vector Strike with a model from the Helldrake Terror Pack against a target that is pinned, falling back, or has gone to ground, the target unit suffers D6 Strength 7 AP 2 hits instead of 1.
Yeah.
When you're Vector Striking, that's before any going to ground moves will have happened,
Yep.
before any pinned rolls will have happened, and if you're Vector Striking something that's falling back, you do not know how to use Helldrake.
Yeah.
So I need someone to comment on this and please explain to me how this is a rule. Because to me that's just somebody has just had a really late night and didn't know what they were doing.
I can't say anything on the matter. Not sure. But, other than that rule,
It allows you to take Helldrakes in the formations, and it allows you to only take 2.
Yes.
Which is what I like.
and, if you did want to take more than that in, say, an Apocalypse game, and you want the bonus rules, there you go. Done.
Yeah, running 4 with -3 to leadership for units is quite brutal.
Against some armies that could crush them. Especially with, some other bonuses and combos and war gear that I've seen further down the line.
Cult of Destruction's next. A lot of people like this because it is
I do
from
like it.
It is from Traitors Hate. A lot of people like it.
Okay.
I've got some issues with it. I like it, but I've got issues with it. 1 to 3 Warpsmiths and 3 to 5 units of Obliterators and Mutilators.
The Blitz.
Now,
I know why you don't.
Empyreonic Guidance Rituals. At the start of the Chaos Space Marine movement phase, each Warpsmith in the formation can perform a ritual on one of the units of Obliterators or Mutilators. So, each Warpsmith can only perform this once.
Yeah.
And they've got to be within 8 inches of him. Each Warpsmith must pick a different unit to perform the ritual upon. Obviously, why the hell would you do it more than once on a unit? If a unit of Obliterators is selected, then it can shoot twice at the same unit in the shooting phase of their turn.
Yep.
And Mutilators can attack twice in the assault.
Now, say you deep strike your Obliterators, and they're, say, near your opponent's deployment zone.
They won't be within 8 inches of your Warpsmith.
Yes. And your Warpsmith.
Is the keystone to this formation.
So how's you going to get there? Yeah.
Carry out the first set of attacks to completion, then carry out the second set of attacks. A unit must use different weapons for the 2 different types of attacks.
Yeah.
That's what breaks this formation for me. That's what I hate. I was read through it, got up to here and went, this is amazing. I can finally, double las cannon something.
No, you can't.
And then I read that and went, oh.
So you're going to have to to be fair, you can last cannon Melter.
But you can't target different units.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's got
shoot
use.
Twice at the same unit. So, if I target a vehicle and use las cannons and I'm, let's say, 30 inches away.
Yeah.
The only other weapon I can use is a plasma cannon against it. And, I'm risking wounding my Obliterators to fire plasma cannons at a vehicle.
Yeah. Well, the risk is tiny, though.
But I mean, it's still...
save, so.
But it's still just...
Yeah, I don't know.
I was really hoping that rule was going to be you could fire the same weapon twice. And then you couldn't use that weapon in the next turn.
So on the flip side, let's see, we'll go over it again, apply this to the Mutilators, which I know the internet all says meh.
I think it works better with the Mutilators.
Yeah,
a lot better.
I don't know, if you're a fan of Mutilators, I'd say this might be a way to go.
I do like it with the Mutilators, but they're an assault-orientated unit in a shooting game.
Yeah.
That's bringing a knife to a gunfight all over again.
So basically, if you have a use for this unit and a plan that is formed around the unit, then yeah. If not, not really.
If not, there's other ways to get Obliterators into an army.
And plus, say, when we go over and you can get obsect Obliterators in certain things. So,
yeah, exactly.
No. For us, we're not really going to be seeing that on the table.
I do love this. The Fist of the Gods. I do like it.
Don't know the rules yet. So.
And I will be running some with different legions.
Nice.
So it's 1 Warpsmith and 3 to 5 units of Predators, Vindicators, and Land Raiders. Now that the Vindicators and Predators have had squadrons, there's potential to get a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
I don't recommend it, but you
It's
can
a lot
do
of
it.
points.
Exactly. But
What do you get for it?
all vehicles from the Fist of the Gods have a 6-up invuln while they're within 12 inches of their Warpsmith. Realistically, you should be aiming for a 5-up cover anyway.
Yeah, you'd be looking at cover or
But
line of sight.
it does always give you a save against things that ignore cover.
Yeah, it could be that time where you just make your opponent rage because you can't kill something.
Exactly. But the Warpsmith from this formation has +1 bonus when making attempts to repair. How I'm going to be running this will be 3 Predators with triple las cannon guarding the Warpsmith.
Yeah, and you'd hide the Warpsmith and then just repair as you can.
Well, the Warpsmith repairs on a 5-up. His Mecha Tendrils make it a 4-up.
So
And the
you got
formation
3+.
makes it a 3-up. Like,
You're going to repair stuff.
You're going to struggle to kill things unless you explode them the first time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think triple las cannon Preds could do quite well. I especially say you got Imperial Knight bearing down on you. You got Wraith Knights and stuff. I'd see use against them, but I don't know. My Demi company or my Gladius. You're just going to be burning through free Razorbacks. There's going to be times it's awesome. There's going to be times where it's okay.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it works with Vindicators because if you want to be firing your Demolisher Cannons, you'll only be moving up 6 inches, so the Warpsmith can keep up.
Yeah.
And again, can repair them. If you lose your Demolisher Cannons, you can repair them back on, which, will just make your opponent lose it.
Land Raiders, I'm not.
No. You can embark him on it, but then he only affects the one he's on.
Yeah, exactly.
Land Raiders, the only thing in that I don't like.
Especially seeing as Land Raiders for Chaos are only the... Yeah, why would you pay for the Land Raiders when you can have the Predators, which basically have the same... I mean, if you're paying that much points for the Land Raiders, you're not really going to have any expensive unit that's going to be needed to charge out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe. I don't know. Don't know what points you're running, but in an 1850 point, which is what we usually play...
Black Legion could maybe make it work.
It's a lot of points.
Black Legion could maybe make it work with the Land Raiders. But with the firepower that top armies are, trotting around with these days, especially Grav.
I do not give a crap about a Land Raider with a 6+ save.
Well, you're just going to be looking at 3 immobilized Land Raiders.
Yeah. I'm not that worried about them.
Moving on, I like this one. The Raptor Talon.
What's it called? Raptor Talon, yep.
1 Chaos Lord who must take a jump pack, but at no additional cost. So he gets a free jump pack in it.
That's like 15 points free?
20.
Damn.
15 or 20?
I don't know. It's been a while.
3 to 5 units of Raptors and or Warp Talons. Warp Talons I still don't like. In this formation, they're more usable.
I like
They're just too expensive.
I don't know how much points they are. We'll go over that. How much for a 5-man?
Oh,
5 demon squad.
Half the point of Raptor. They're like half of that. I think they're about 150 if I remember correctly. It might be a bit cheaper. I can't remember off the top of my head.
So if you wanted to go the cheap route, then you got Raptors. Raptors do come with the option for a shooting attack, which, flamers obviously.
Well, I mean, I can see the use when you read these.
Yeah, so let's just see what comes with that first.
Units in the formation can charge on the same turn they arrive from Deep Strike.
Skyhammer!
It is disordered, however.
Yeah.
So do not put Mark of Khorne on this unit. Or you're wasting your points.
Yes, definitely a waste.
This will work very well with the Mark of Slanesh and the Mark of Nurgle.
See, I like this formation, but I just wish there was a way to deny an effective way, immediate way, say for war gear on the Lord, of no Overwatch, etc. Just something extra because I can immediately think of the Tau list that I'm working towards. You deep strike in, interceptor, bang, and then suddenly you charge if you are able to charge with what's left, and my army will Overwatch that to death. To be fair, that's like picking the complete counter. It's like the same as my Ultramarines. That would do that to my Ultramarines. But there's got to be something extra. I don't know. There might be a combo somewhere, but
there will be a lot of games this will work.
Yeah,
there'll be a lot of games. There'll be a select group of games that won't. Like you said, Tau will make mincemeat of this. A lot of other armies.
Tau would make mincemeat of my current Ultramarines list. My Tau that I'm working towards would make a mincemeat of my current list.
But a lot of other armies will struggle against that.
Yeah, I like it. I really do.
It's a good way to pin your opponent in while the rest of your army gets itself into position.
I keep coming back to this idea as if I was to run Chaos. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to. I'm not going to betray the Ultramarines. But if I was to, the Night Lords, I know they're not... We'll go over their formations, but, suffice it to say, they're not the most powerful in the book. But there are builds and formations and things you could use to make a list quite deadly. And this is obviously one of the key elements.
I can see strengths in the Night Lords, but again, we'll go over that in the next video when we touch on the legions themselves. Your secondary rule is Cacophonic War Cries. Enemy units that are charged by 2 or more units from the Raptor Talon must subtract 2 from their leadership.
Yep.
So there's potential there. If you've got a select unit you really need to take out, you send this whole formation at it. As long as you win the combat and it survives, it's got another -2 on it on top of however many you kill.
This combos again with the Helldrake Fear Squadron.
Yes.
But the trouble is this a...
This isn't turn 1.
No, okay, well, that's fine then. Yeah, so you could potentially combo that up for a massive leadership debuff, which, if you get it off, that's awesome.
What do we got next? Terminator Annihilation Force.
Not a fan.
1 Chaos Lord or Sorcerer, 3 to 5 units of Terminators. You can slip in a Baden or Typhus instead of the Lord Sorcerer.
Would have been nice if that was 2 to 5.
The Lord or Sorcerer get Terminator armor for free, which is always nice.
That makes it a little bit better.
Targeted for Annihilation. At the start of the game, before deployment, nominate one unit in the enemy army. Units in this formation have Hatred special rule against them making when making attacks against the nominated unit. In addition, units in this formation can make a shooting attack against the nominated unit immediately after they deploy from Deep Strike, if it's within range and line of sight. This does not stop the unit from shooting again in the later turn. So you can you shoot twice the turn you come in, potentially at the unit. That's not bad.
You see, if I was to do that rule there, basically, say you've got a Wraith Knight and he's out of cover, you got those many wounds to burn through, and you can only take, say, like the combi weapons, right? You can take a few heavy weapons in there, but let's just say majority combi. You burn all your combi melters, and potentially, like, he's still alive, right? Then you've only got bolters to shoot at him, which aren't going to hurt him.
True.
I don't know. It's a lot of points for that.
That's why you take the Sorcerer with the...
I can't remember Sorcerer.
I can't remember what the artifact's called of Manon, which gives you access. Balestar, which gives you access to divination. I'd be taking Combi Plasma for that use.
Yep.
Twin linking them.
Yep.
And then you've got 10. You've got 8. 10 if you give one to the Sorcerer. Yeah. You got 10 twin linked plasma shots going into whatever you're shooting at.
Well then, yeah. But then, like on the flip side, say he did somehow survive that, which a smart Eldar player is going to layer up his defenses, all sorts of stuff like that. You didn't manage to get the Ignores cover spell, and you've put a lot of points into that formation. You then have burned all your plasma, and shooting at it again, I'm not too sure about the formation. It's a lot of points to put into Terminators.
It comes into its own in the Black Legion detachment later.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It will be made a lot better when we show you those rules later. But the target updated. Righto, next up we've got the Favored of Chaos. This is a very good formation if you run it alongside Crimson Slaughter. If you run a Crimson Slaughter detachment and include this in it, you'll do alright. 1 Demon Prince, 3 to 5 units of Possessed. That's why I say Crimson Slaughter.
They're all about those Possessed.
But you read this rule. Units are possessed from the Favored of Chaos that are within 12 of the Demon Prince, which isn't too hard to keep them within
Flying Demon Prince, you basically have mobility for that.
At the start of the fight subphase, receive the benefit of all 3 mutations from the table rather than 1.
What were the mutations again? Better armor save.
That's the thing.
Rending?
I can't remember the Crimson Slaughter ones off the top of my head.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's better armor save, shred, and
AP3 or something like that.
Better attacks or something.
But I don't mind that. It does require you to run Possessed, which a lot of people don't rate. I can see why. But
again, it suffers from you're putting that much points into a unit that has to get up the field, that hasn't got the stupid amounts of durability that I know of. I mean, there could be +1 toughness in that thing. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, there's potential in that. I can see that working in the right army. It's not a highly competitive formation.
Sounds like fun though.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like it. I don't even think we touched on that.
Well, you know what we thought about 1. Why don't you pay for 3?
Yeah, exactly.
Buy 1, get 2 free. Hell yeah.
I'm not even going to touch on that because it's just to me it's a waste of time talking about it because you're not going to see it.
Well, you don't get buy 1, get 2 free. Just
Exactly.
disregard what I just said. But I would use it if that was the case.
Righto. So this is the start of the Black Legion supplement formations that have been transferred to here. Again, I haven't read through Black Legion book itself. That's why I'm covering
Black
these.
Legion so far. I know that they're not.
Some of this, I think, the Black Legion supplement rules will vary their effects on some of these.
Yeah.
But these aren't bad.
All right. 1 to 4 Chaos Lords or Sorcerers. I do like the fact that you get Sorcerers as well.
In any combination, and 1 unit of Chosen or Terminators in any combination for each of the HQs. It's a Black Legion detachment.
Yeah.
It has to be in a Black Legion.
Yeah.
These next few can only be used in the Black Legion detachments.
Yeah. Okay.
Exalted Champions. During deployment, each Chaos Lord and Sorcerer from this formation must join 1 unit of Chosen or Terminators. Only 1 character can join each unit in this way, and they cannot leave these units during the course of the battle.
Ooh, bit of restriction there.
As long as the character is on the battlefield, his unit has Fearless.
Okay.
That's why I'd take the Sorcerers, because the Lord gives him Fearless anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Sorcerers, I'm a big fan of Sorcerers. Extra psychic defense, extra psychic offense. Always good.
Before deployment, blessed by the Chaos Gods. Before deployment, roll on the Chaos Boon table for each Chaos Lord and Sorcerer in the formation, re-rolling any results of Spawnhood and Dark Hypothesis. The re-roll results last for the entire game. That's pretty good, especially ignoring the Spawn.
Yeah, ignoring Spawn, that would suck. I remember playing against a guy who rolled Spawnhood on Typhus. That was, let's just say the game ended pretty quick after that, because he was already losing. Like, he just won that combat, but that was the nail in a coffin of a very depressing game for him.
But it's one of the fun things with Chaos is that unpredictability.
Yeah, well,
when you win,
if you want reliability, this is not the Codex.
That's the thing with Spawnhood. It's like you win, but do you really win?
Yeah, the Chaos Gods win
exactly
because they're laughing about it.
So I mean, that's the Chosen of Abaddon. It's not my thing.
If I was to use it, I'd personally go Sorcerers and Chosen in Rhinos. Chosen maxed out with like I don't know, plasmas, and then the detachment rules for the Black Legion will go on later. That combos up with that.
All right, Bringers of Despair, which is Abaddon and a unit of Terminators.
Okay.
I kind of like this. I think I may end up using this at some point.
I do like Abaddon. I just wish he got a new model, seriously.
Yeah, me too.
I can see them look what they did with the Thousand Suns. I could see this being incredible.
Well, I mean, Khan's been updated, Araman's been updated, you've just got Typhus, Lucius and Abaddon.
Yeah.
Lucius needs it more than Abaddon, in all fairness. I'd rather his model than Lucius's.
But the 13th Black Crusade is all about this guy.
Yeah, I know.
So,
well, depends which element of it you look at, actually.
Yeah, but, his name, he's the stamp on...
Yeah, he kicks it off.
Yeah.
Alright, special rules for it. Without equal, Chaos Terminators that are part of this formation, including the champion, have a weapon skill and ballistic skill 5 rather than 4. That's pretty cool.
Which is ported over from the other book.
Yeah.
His unit of Terminator bodyguards already had that from the other book, but they've just put that here.
Despoiler's Guard. While Abaddon the Despoiler is joined to the unit, you can reroll 1 lookout Sir roll for him each phase.
That could be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But, I mean, 2 pluses anyway. Oh, when the hell are you going to... You're not going to fail that very often.
I don't know. It's just handy for that. He's on his last wound. You want him to get that lookout Sir, I guess. So, yeah. But, pretty cool. But, yeah, again, there's a lot of points required. And they're a slow-moving unit, so... You'll deep strike and can't charge, or you pay for the Land Raider.
That's why there's tandems with the Black Legion detachment you'll see in the next video.
Cool.
You will see where that comes into it.
Sounds good.
Righto, next formation is the Hounds of Abaddon, which is 1 Chaos Lord, 1 to 3 Khorne Berserkers, 1 to 3 Chaos Marines, and 1 to 3 Raptors, Warp Talons, or Bikes. It's Black Legion only, and any unit that has the option to take a Mark of Khorne must do so, but at no additional points. So, I mean, you are getting a free Mark of Khorne.
Yeah. 3 units of bikes straight up.
You are forced to take Berserkers,
but
only
that,
1 unit.
I don't know, that could be cool. I don't know, say you want to have that 1 unit for fluff.
Let's slip the Hounds of War. Once per game at the start of any of your turns after the first, you can declare a massed assault. For the duration of that turn, units from this formation can charge in the assault phase even if they've made a run move.
That's okay, right. A bit more mobility there.
If a unit from this formation makes a successful charge and the total roll for its charge range is 8 or more, before modifiers as well. That's cool. Add +1 strength to the models in the unit. With Mark of Khorne, you've got rage and counterattack.
Yeah. Alright, so let's just run that out how on the battlefield.
And the Berserkers have already got Furious Charge, so they're at +2 strength on the charge.
So, straight off of the bat, I'm immediately thinking Chaos Juggerlord, bikes. That I like that element of it. 1 to 3 units of Chaos Space Marines. There's your fire support in the Rhinos, and then they can become pretty good in the assault. If you wanted to use them though, say you've got 3 Rhinos, 2 units of Chaos Space Marines and 1 unit of Khorne Berserkers, the turn before you're going to need to get out. You're going to need to sit around looking like an idiot for a bit while your bikes and everything else is doing everything. Then do your bonus. Or your vehicles get blown up, you somehow survive, then you can try and...
Well, I see it as, you do what you said, throw the units in a Rhino and just charge. You'd be 12-inch move, flat out 6, and just as far as you can go every turn.
Yeah.
The bikes should be going up and harassing the enemy and trying to take the fire away from those Rhinos.
This formation to me almost seems like you need a Land Raider on top of this for the Khorne Berserkers.
Well, you've got a Juggerlord. You've got a Juggerlord.
If you were wanting to utilise them,
you've got a Juggerlord and 3 units of bikes. I mean, that's going to take fire off the rest of this. Yes, when they get out of their Rhinos, they can't charge that turn.
Yeah.
But you'd hope that these 4 units will be doing enough damage, or at least harassing and taking the firepower.
And this isn't the whole army, obviously. So there is that. I don't know. It's not screaming at me. But the rules.
None of the Black Legion does for me.
Oh, some of the Black Legion stuff I like, but yeah. We'll go on to the next one.
This is the one that I like, and I'm a little bit disappointed that it's only Black Legion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That should be Iron Warriors fluff there.
It's the best Demon Engine formation.
That's Iron Warriors straight up.
There's 1 Warpsmith, 2 Forge Fiends on Mauler Fiends. Why you'd take Mauler Fiends in this, I'll never know.
I don't know. Let's see what the rules are.
After deployment, but before the first turn, you can nominate 1 character in the enemy army. All Forge Fiends and Mauler Fiends have preferred enemy against the character. If the nominated character is slain by a vehicle from this formation, that model regains a hull point lost earlier.
I could see why you'd take one, but I do like the preferred enemy. I think for Forge Fiends, I do like that more.
It doesn't. The problem with the Mauler Fiends is they'll die before they get there. There's a very good chance they will, because you only got 2 in the formation.
That's coming from you, who does have to deal with Grav a lot. They might not ever make it. They might get immobilized.
Because a lot of the time, if I'm going to judge something, it's against what the best things are.
Yeah, you build for your meta, really.
Yeah. But it's the second rule that I like. At the start of each shooting phase and assault phase, you can nominate a Forge Fiend or Mauler Fiend from this formation that is within 12 of the formation's Warpsmith. Until the end of the phase, the model uses the Warpsmith weapon skill or ballistic skill.
That I like.
So you've got a ballistic skill 5 Forge Fiend with preferred enemy, and if you Demon Forge, rerolling to wound at strength 8.
I like. Combo that up with maybe some psychers, enfeebling something. You could be instant deathing things, all sorts of stuff.
Exactly.
I do like that. But ballistic skill 5, 8 shot, rerolling to wound model for 175 points. I'm not gonna ignore that. That's pretty cool. I like this formation.
Next one, a lot of people already know about this. The Cyclopia Cabal. It's been around for a while. It's started to appear in tournaments.
It's the key
very
for
good.
a Death Star.
It's very good.
Yeah.
3 to 5 sorcerers. Black Legion detachment only.
Didn't know there were only Black Legion. What a shame.
Well, I mean, all you've got to do, because they're a formation, is take that and then take another detachment with the rest of your army in it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
This is why everyone takes it. At the start of each of your psychic phases, select one model from the Cabal to lead in a dark ritual. The model attempt to manifest Shroud of Deceit. For each other sorcerer in this formation within 12, add 1 dice to the psychic test. These dice don't cost warp charge points.
Nice.
So if you take 5, you get an extra 4 dice without using warp charges.
So that's straight up. That's,
You could potentially be
Awesome.
using 4 dice.
Can those guys take spell familiars?
Yes.
Oh, I like this formation.
And Shroud of Deceit is a psychic power that targets a single non-vehicle enemy unit within 12. Non-vehicle is key.
Yep.
The target unit cannot be locked in combat. You can immediately make a shooting attack with that unit as though it was part of your army.
That I've seen this used recently in a game. Storm Surge firing at
Tau.
To be fair, the guy rolled insane on his cover saves. It would have done a lot more damage, but yeah, just every turn a Storm Surge firing at his own units, things like that, is massive.
What I like with this formation is when your opponent realizes you can do that, it will completely change how they look at this. It will completely change how they deploy. It will change their whole game strategy.
I like this unit on bikes. Adds toughness 5. You've got you attach it to hounds, attach it to bikes. You've got mobility. You always should be in range of something.
If you can make the Mark of Nurgle, they're toughness 6.
Well, there you go. Or you can also split them off late game for objective grabs. I do like this. It's one of the more competitive formations. If not, I haven't seen the rest of it yet.
If not
but the most, yeah. 10 out of 10 for that formation.
Yeah. Continuing through the Black Legion elements of it, we've got the Tormented, which is another Demon Prince possessed formation. 1 Demon Prince, 2 to 5 units possessed. Black Legion detachment only. Advanced Possession. Units are possessed from the Tormented have a weapon skill and initiative 5, and the Rending. Special rule. However, any unit of possessed from the Tormented that is not locked in combat at the start of its turn must take a leadership test.
Oh.
If it fails, the unit can only move d6 as it's racked with mutated spasms. That'd be amusing to see happen.
Yeah.
Units that are within 18 of the formation's Demon Prince pass this automatically.
Okay.
So at least it counts as its own rule.
Yeah. Already an army that's going to have to make sure it gets in combat.
That may very well not get there.
That may not get there. With a rule that hinders it potentially from getting there. I don't think we need to even rate that one.
I find that fluffy.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but it's fluffy.
I'm sure you could make that good. You combo something. I just don't see it, and I'm happy to discount that straight off.
So am I. Then we have the Black Legion Warband, which is the core for the Black Legion.
You see, I love this, but that's just I like the play style of it.
The other one's better.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
That's my problem with it. This one doesn't have OBSEC.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, I would prefer to use the other one. I do kind of like this though.
So we got 1 Chaos Lord, 0 to 1 Sorcerer, 2 to 6 Marines or Chosen, 1 to 3 Terminators or Possessed, 1 to 3 Raptors, Warp Talons, Bikes, 1 to 3 Havocs or Hellbrutes.
Yeah.
So the only difference between this element of it is the Chosen have been moved into here. Then we go to the special rules. When a model from a Black Legion Warband earns a roll on the boon table, as a result of the Champions of Chaos special rule, roll twice on the table and choose either or both of the results. That's not bad. If an enemy unit is completely destroyed by a unit from a Black Legion Warband, all other units from the same Black Legion Warband can reroll the hit and to wound rolls of 1.
Yeah. The reason why I like this is combo that up with, say, Abaddon, which you'd be taking. His Warlord trait allows you preferred enemy on units within 12 inches, but it's only against Space Marines. I'll go back and say this. I like this when playing against Space Marines. If I was playing against Space Marines, Any other time, yes. The
Actually,
other formation.
Armies of the Imperium now. It's not just Space Marines.
Oh, they've changed it?
Their detachment gives them hatred to Armies of the Imperium.
Does Abaddon's one give preferred enemy only against Space Marines, though? Can we see that one? I'm pretty sure it's...
What, in his formation?
No, Abaddon's Warlord trait gives preferred enemy, but only against...
Hold on a sec, I'll grab the
Space Marines, I'm pretty sure. So I'll pause it now.
There's something else I actually wanted to get the codex for as well.
Okay, so yes, Abaddon's is Space Marine specific. So if I was running this and I was constantly up against Space Marines, then yes, I would run that. I'd run this. And then preferred enemy bubble, I'd just be rocking a plasma party of doom everywhere.
One little thing with this, something that I only realised lately, and I've been playing this codex for 3 years, which is kind of sad, is you can get Chaos Boon rolls just for shooting. If you have a character that can shoot an enemy character and kills them, you get a roll for it. I didn't know that.
Yep. And one thing we constantly haven't been using yet, which I've known, but the characters, precision shot. So you take out that melter gunner in a squad or whatever, then we've got to start remembering that.
Yeah. So we'll move on. Now we're into the Thousand Suns.
Oh
specific.
yeah, Walkabout.
So we're going to review this instead of Wrath of Magnus. We'll still look at Wrath of Magnus for the demon element, but the Thousand Suns element we'll cover here.
Yeah, sounds good.
So the Walkabout is their core formation.
So what comes in that?
One of Ahriman, Demon Prince, Exalted Sorcerer, or a normal Sorcerer.
Yeah.
1 to 3 Exalted Sorcerer or Sorcerer. So you need a lot of sorcerers. 1 to 3 units of Rubric, 1 to 3 of Scarab Occult.
I like that. It's very fluffy, very fun.
I hate this rule with every inch of my body.
Okay, what is it? Let's see.
If a Walkabout contains the maximum number of units, then all units from the formation can reroll any saving throws of 1. Why the maximum?
So
They're so hell-bent on this, on
Scarab
Thousand
Occult?
Suns.
What?
The
280 kitted out?
Like, Thousand Suns and Slanesh and Emperor's Children are the only two that get punished when they're not at maximum strength. Khorne can take, 4 units.
Yeah.
And they still get all their rules. Death Guard can still take, I think it's 3 units, and still get all their rules.
So what you're saying basically is, let's rock up to an APOC, add Magnus, and there you go, you can have some fun. But
They're a very good
you're only
Apocalypse.
doing this in Apocalypse.
Yeah, they're a very good Apocalypse army. This maxed
That
out.
may be an exaggeration, but yes, like you are...
This maxed out comes
a lot
to,
of
I think
points.
it's about 1650, 1700 points.
Yeah.
And so you've got 150 points for upgrades. And that's none of this upgraded at all to anything. So all your sorcerers are level... Let's say you take 2 Exalteds. They're all level 2. None of them are on discs.
Yeah. At a push, you're going to get your 1850 points, but you don't have the toys that you
won't have any
really...
effectiveness.
Yeah.
None of your units will have decent range weaponry. They're upgraded weaponry.
But what you get here, does this help?
This is cool. If a Psyker from a Walkabout successfully manifests a psychic power, the Psyker and any Walkabout unit he is part of or has joined can reroll failed to roll hits of 1 until the start of your next psychic phase. That's not bad.
Yeah.
If you attach them to the right units. But I mean, if a Psyker, every unit's got a Psyker in it.
Exactly.
All they've got to do is get Force off. And you're rerolling 1s.
Yeah. Oh, no, we worked out not Force.
No, this one is.
Yeah?
Because that's manifest a psychic power.
Oh, yeah, the other... Okay, that's fine.
The other one, yes.
Yeah. We'll come back to that one. But so what do you think overall? I like it. I think it's going to be a very durable army.
I like it, but it's the favourite of Zentril in this the whole Thousand Suns release that's annoyed me.
Yeah. So you basically, if you're going to run this formation, that's really all you're getting.
If you're going to run this formation to maximum effectiveness,
Yeah.
that's probably all you're getting.
Yeah.
At least effectiveness by running off these special rules.
I see the major thing is you don't have OBSEC, obviously. The other thing is...
You don't have mobility.
Yeah, no mobility. You do have extremely good durability.
You've got reasonable levels of psychic powers.
Yeah.
But remembering, if let's say you run, to keep it cheap, you run 4 sorcerers. Mm-hmm. If you only run them at level 1, your power has to come from the Zench table.
Yeah. I don't know. but the models are so pretty.
Yeah, they are. Look, I'm definitely going to do an army.
I think I'd just see this in a CAD. I'd rather.
It's the
Bit more.
The list that I have for Thousand Suns. It's not a walkabout. It's a CAD. But it's also not going to be a top tier competitive list. I've made it as strong as I feel I can make it, while sticking to the character of the Thousand Suns.
I know you love your fluff.
Yes, I'm big on an army still has to maintain. Like, that's the reason you collect the army.
Yes, yeah.
Or at least, sorry, it's the reason I collect the army.
Yeah.
Other people collect it for their own reasons, but I collect it for fluff, and I'd like to stick to that.
Well, it's a very good reason.
That's why that rule should really make me happy because it's fluffy,
but yes.
But it's still frustrating.
Well, when you're already given expensive models that they want you to pay a lot for, you want 3 units of Occult Terminators that are already expensive.
Like 3 units of the Occult are 750 points base.
Yeah.
Like there's nearly half of your army in 15 models that aren't that good.
Could be made awesome with the right spells, but then you're relying on getting the spells, all sorts of things.
But I mean, again,
and war gear.
As we said earlier, if you're going to run Chaos and you want reliability, don't run Chaos.
Yeah. Let's go to this.
I like the Walk Oven.
I love the Walk Oven. Obviously, you have to be a little careful with the points you put into it, though.
Yes. So, one of the following: Demon Prince, Exalted, Sorcerer, and a Sorcerer. And then 3 to 9 more Exalted Sorcerers or Sorcerers. Obviously, the Sorcerers have to have Mark of Zench. Demon has to have Demon of Zench.
Yep.
I like it. Still got this stupid favour to Zench rule.
Obviously. Maximum.
I've worked it out. You're going to struggle to get 9 units into an 1850 point game.
Yeah.
Before generating powers for models from a War Coven, you can choose a single Cult of Ancient Prospero from this list below. All units in the formation then count as having belonged to that cult and harness warp charge points on a result of 3+ when attempting to manifest powers from their cult's associated discipline.
See, like, as much as I'm happy it's only a 3+.
It's only 1 discipline.
Well, not only that, the Space Marines got a 2+. Same as the Dark Angels, they only harness on a 3+.
Yeah, but
I don't know why they give me the 2+.
But I can get a reroll. It's 15 points a sorcerer.
Yeah, no,
it's 15 points a sorcerer, but I can get a reroll for failed
And you are
tests.
but you're paying a lot more for yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Different. Just different. You've been given a lot more powers. I like.
Yes, well, I've got access to all those 5 tables. That's all. This is also a way to get access to divination and telekinesis on standard sorcerers.
You see, I'm a massive fan of Psychers because I see them as a toolbox. You can't rock up to a game and say, oh, you're running, let's just say you're running all Land Raiders and I have not got any Armor 14 value busting weapons. Crap. And, you either just say, oh, I can't play or whatever. But, yeah, that's an extreme example. But basically, you go, oh, okay, I'm going to need to roll on this table so that I have weapons. It allows you to get extra versions of something. So
But it's also, before generating the powers, so I mean, you get access to all 5 of these.
Yeah.
You can change that per game.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like, oh, I've only bought a Pavoni. You've just bought this formation and you can access any of those 5. You can access the 3+ for any one of those, and you can change it per game.
Expensive, but good.
But so is the whole army.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Thousand Suns in general. Which is why I think the CAD would come into its own.
This is what made Zangors better.
Yes, this is why I changed my tune on Zangors.
1 sorcerer or exalted sorcerer, 3 units of Zangors, and then 0 to 6 more units of Zangors or spawn.
0 to 6 being the key there. There's no minimum, which obviously you're taking it for the formation, but whatever.
Everything gets fleet.
So speed on units that are is good.
Zangor units from this formation can run and charge in the same turn. In addition, if a Zangor unit charges rolls more than 9, add +1 to their strength and initiative. Like, that's relying on a bit of luck. But being able to charge after running and fleet is good. So
what I like is, for a 70-point model, you're losing OBSEC though, that is one thing. But for a 70-point model squad, you can get to an objective reasonably fast in an otherwise slow-moving Thousand Sun army. And then charge them off, hopefully. Now, naturally, on their own, you could imagine that they're not going to do impressive amounts of damage.
They'll get cut down pretty quick.
We'll add that rule to it later, but you are backed by a lot of psychic powers, and you can either buff or debuff the enemy unit. Like buff your squads, debuff. There's a lot of things that you can do. All right, Favourite of Zinch.
Yeah,
we know that one.
We're just going to ignore that rule from now on.
Yeah. So we know the opinions on that. So
I like this. It's still a bit situational, but I like it.
actually, I'll touch back on this one. 1 sorcerer or exalted sorcerer, 3 Zangors sounds good. That's a lot of spawn you could throw in there.
Oh yeah, and they're individual units, all of them, but they can only be Zench spawn
Oh, okay.
because it's a Thousand Suns
Yeah,
detachment.
that makes sense. Fair enough.
Then we move on to the Sekhmet Conclave.
Damn. That's a lot of points.
Magnus, Ahriman, a Demon Prince, an Exalted Sorcerer, or a Sorcerer. So basically any of the HQs you got access to, and 3 to 9 Scarab Occult.
Where does
So you're
it say
looking-
or?
One of the following.
No, sorry. I'm looking through the camera here going, well, look, we're looking for an or. I just completely disregarded that.
So I mean, the 3 to 9 is you got 750 points just to put that in. Just to put 3 units of Scarab Occult in.
And then obviously Favourite of Zench. Can you pay for 9 units
I think
of
it's
Scarab Occult?
2,250 points at least to get them all in.
Yeah, it's a lot of points.
So again, we ignore the Favourite of Zench rule. The whole formation's got Fear, which can come in handy. Sorcerer Sigil Wards. Units from this conclave have +1 toughness so long as they are within 6 inches of at least 2 other units from this formation.
Yeah.
You pretty much run this as an army.
Yeah.
You don't attach anything to this. This is your army if you run it.
So this would be your army.
Thousand Suns first company, basically.
You see, I would have liked it if they got the Dark Angels version, because it's relying on the one squad to stick close. Whereas I drop out, say you take 3 units, which you're not going to really afford too many more.
I'd say
I drop 1 squad, done.
Yeah.
There's their toughness 5 gone.
what I've looked at running is Magnus in charge of it for 650. 5 units of
Which means
Scarab Occult, which is
yeah.
1250. Sorry, 4 units for 1,000. I knew what I meant. And then you've got 200 points to spend on upgrades.
See, well, at least there, then you have
You can afford to
drop.
lose 2
You can
units.
yeah, exactly.
And you basically just send the 4 units up in a line at your opponent because they're all walking around with 2 up, 4 up.
At toughness 5.
Yeah, at toughness 5. And if each unit you can get in a Soul Reaper cannon.
You got Rending.
You've
That's
got
the thing,
Rending
though. Let's just say you faced a fast-moving army. It's an objective-based game.
But that's
This
why
army's going to struggle.
But that's why you've just got to march up the middle
Although
and gun them
Magnus
down.
will do
And
some
yeah,
dirty things.
That's the thing. I mean, if you come up against a fast-moving army with a Thousand Suns army, you're in trouble to start with. You've got to play through. That's where your psychic powers have got to come into
Exactly. All right, what's next?
it. Ahriman's Exiles.
So it's basically like an expanded version of the other one.
I like this, but it's very expensive to run.
It's becoming a trend with the Thousand Suns.
I mean, Ahriman and models from this formation are within 18 of him, so they've got to stay together. Harness warp charges on a 3+ when attempting to manifest any power.
But then so does the other unit, yeah.
But
So why if that was a 2+, then you could see taking Ahriman being
the difference between
difference?
the two, maxed out, the difference between the two, is this one's also got to take only Exalted.
only exalted. Okay.
But it means you're running at minimum 3 coruscating beams.
Yeah.
Again, this is another formation. It's pretty much an army on its own. It's got enough lance weaponry and heavy weaponry initially to do damage if you can keep them alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you've got to be a very good player to make that work.
Yeah. So
Because I mean,
Could be good.
I've worked it out to make it worth having. With everyone on discs, everyone at level 3 with spell familiars, it's about 900 points for 4 guys.
depends on the rest of your list.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you've got to. This one and the other conclave are 2 formations. You've got to design a list around them.
Yeah. I like the list. Like I like a formation like this with something that you can enhance. You know, I find maybe a couple of renegade knights enhancing their abilities. You know, whereas these are guys, I don't usually see them as armies on their own that just go off and do things. I think they're, would be great in a support role.
Yeah, I agree.
But they also have their offensive abilities, so it's pretty cool.
And next we've got the main Magnus formation.
This is so cool. I mean, it's just a lot of points, and
Well, you've got to take Magnus.
yeah,
3 to 9 Demon Princes or Exalted. Everything's got to be level 3. You can't have anything below
So-
level 3.
this is just, I don't know whether this is going to be competitive yet, but that's just a new flying circus that's available.
Whilst they're within 18 of Magnus, Demon Princes, Exalted Sorcerers, Harness Warp Charges on a 3+, and they have line of sight to every unit on the battlefield.
So
That's pretty cool.
What I'm looking at is, rather than the guys on the discs,
Demon
I'd just
Princes.
have Flying Demon Princes and Magnus.
You'd probably have Magnus and I think 4
And
3
causing
to 4 Demon
terror
Princes.
in the skies.
Yeah. Who would
And
do
then,
that again?
yeah, favors Zench. Yeah. That's just a cool formation.
Yeah, it is.
But, I don't know.
I think you could have some fun with it. Whether you win all your games with it's another question. You'd have fun.
To be fair-
your opponent may not, but you'll have fun.
To be fair, your opponent, you're basically forcing your opponent to play a game of jump on objectives. Yeah. Kill points.
The best thing
That'd
is
be funny.
they can't hide.
Yeah.
You can't even play jump, shoot, jump.
No, not jump, shoot, jump. Just
No, I know.
grab more objectives than you can grab as quickly as they can and hope to win and survive the game.
Yeah, basically.
Would be kind of a boring game.
So that's that Rahati War sect.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Plague Colony, which is the Death Guard formation, the core. We've got 1 Lord or Typhus and 3 to 7 units of Plague Marines.
Yep.
Everything has fear. And then we've got any enemy models within 7 inches of the Plague Colony units at the start of the fight subphase must reduce their initiative and weapon skill by 1 for the duration of the phase. If this formation includes the maximum number of units at the start of the battle, then enemy models within 7 inches of any Plague Colony unit at the start of the fight subphase must also reduce their toughness.
Maximum units being...
So that's very expensive.
What?
For a slow-moving army where your rule relies on you being in combat,
yeah,
it's not good.
I'm not impressed with that.
Neither am I. But it is one way to get Typhus into the army.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
If that's what you want.
Like, if you want Typhus, yeah.
This next one is one of my favourite ones. This
I do like Cacophony.
This is one of the best things in the book to me. Is the Cacophony.
Yeah, there's a lot of internet talk as well about the drawbacks of it, and I do see both sides.
Yes,
I do,
so do I.
really like the Cacophony, though. I
If
could
you
see
take-
myself playing
If
that.
you take this, it needs very good support.
Yeah, and it's very expensive if you want the max thing.
All 1 Chaos Lord, all Lucius the Eternal, and 3 to 6 units of Noise Marines. Everything gets split fire. Every single model gets split fire.
Yeah.
So,
Would impress me more if those split firing models, if you could get individual guys with the upgraded weapon.
or you can
more
get 2.
of them.
You can have 2 in a 5-man unit. You
I
can
wish
have 2
there was
Blastmasters.
like the option of paying for 5.
Yeah, that's-
Obviously that increases your points.
That's 3.5 Ed.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm dreaming about
That's going
that.
back to the glory days.
See, I never hit those days for chaos.
Sonic Overload is pretty cool. All sonic weapons used by the Cacophony have Shred. That's
like
pretty
Shred.
cool.
Well, considering their next rule,
If the formation includes the maximum number of units at the start of the battle, and you can end up with 1 by the end of the game and still have this.
yeah.
All attacks made by the sonic weapons are at strength +1 strength, which means Blastmasters can go to strength 9, and the sonic blasters go to strength 5.
Love Shred on them. So, what's the strength of the just standard guns that they've got? They're ignores cover.
Be strength 4 standard,
Damn.
strength 5 with the sonic overload rule.
Okay, so I'm ignoring this +1 strength straight off the bat in most instances, just for the sheer cost of 6 units of Noise Marines. You know, 6 units of Noise Marines, foot slogging is bad enough, but 6 units of Noise Marines in Rhinos, and that's a lot of points straight off.
Well, the list that I've written for these guys is a Chaos Lord with the demon weapon that we'll come across in the next video.
Yeah.
Jump pack, sigil, Mark of Slanesh. 6 units of 5 Noise Marines with a Blastmaster in each, and a Rhino with a Havoc Launcher for each.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also attaching to it the Fist of the Gods formation with the 3 triple as Predators, because that can punch through the armor that these guys can't.
That's the thing.
And they've got the firepower to punch through everything else.
If you have the list for it, I could see it working. But it is, like, say you were a different player and you weren't going to be running that, and you wanted to run something else, I could see this eating up a lot of points for something that you would...
That's the thing, I mean...
You might not be able to run everything you want if you run that.
It seems to be that they've added these maximum rules in.
I hate that.
For the fluff.
Yeah.
It is frustrating, especially with the Thousand Suns more than any other. Because Khorne doesn't get this rule.
Khorne have it bad enough as it is.
Yeah. Well,
unless you're running
the
Demonkin and all that sort of
difference is
stuff.
out of the 4, Khorne are the assault element.
Yeah, that's a major difference there. This is obviously disregarding KDK. And
yeah, this is just Chaos Marines and their supplements. Khorne Demonkin's a codex on its own.
Yeah.
It's not affected by this per se.
I do still like it.
I'm going to be running it.
Yep.
It will not be anytime soon, but I will be running it.
Yeah.
Because I really like it.
Alright, what's next?
That's the last of the formations.
Alright, so is that we're going to bring it to a wrap for this one?
Yep, that's where we'll wrap this video up. And then the next video we'll delve into the detachments and the war gear and the individual legions themselves.
So we'll leave you with that, guys. Food for thought. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Take everything we say with
that's our opinion.
With our opinion.
Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong, it's our opinion. Please let us know what you think.
If you find that you see a different combination or you see something better that we might have missed, we're more than happy to listen and see what options that you've spotted. Basically share your knowledge with us and we'll all improve. Thanks guys for watching. This has been a Black Star Games Codex review.
Yeah.
Or supplement review.
Please subscribe to us, like our videos, comment, let us know your opinions on everything we post. And thanks for tuning in.
Yep.